Everybody, it's Truth Dog. Woof, woof. I'm feeling kind of low energy, so I don't know if I should be making a video. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about the rarity of real people in this world. Now, this was not something that really dawned on me until maybe last year, and it's only really just sinking in now. But it seems like there's not very many real people at all on the so-called planet Earth. I don't really leave the house much because I don't really have a lot of reasons to leave the house. I find that when I do, I only really come into contact with either reptilians or mostly organic portals. Now, organic portals, for those who don't know, are soulless people. You could call them clones. They're kind of like background characters. And they have that vibe and appearance of background characters. They're people who, this might sound a little bit harsh, but it's how I see it. They have no potential. They're dull. And they seem dull, and nothing about them is really eye-catching. They just sort of blend in to the crowds. And they are the crowds, I went out yesterday hoping to maybe, I don't know what I was hoping for, I just needed to leave the house for a change, and God, that was depressing. It's just like walking through the mall. I don't know if I saw a real person, and I was there for over an hour. Yeah, just sort of, just like the Truman Show. And just something that's occurring to me at the moment. This is like, you can be accused of being a narcissist for saying these things, for observing these things. I think a lot of titles, a lot of personality disorders, or whatever you want to call them, mental illnesses, are basically just to vilify real people. I don't want to feel like I'm the only real person when I go out. I'm sure that I've met real people before, but in the last 5 years I could count them on one hand. It's just, these are ones that 100% I was convinced were real. I know that when I'm with a real person, I feel good, and I don't usually feel good. I usually feel like shit. I pick up on energy. I feel, it's getting worse as I am becoming, I guess, as I'm raising my vibration. I've become vegan. I don't really drink. I don't do drugs. I try not to swear even, because words, and I'll make a separate video of this, but words carry words are spells, because that's what they teach in school, like Harry Potter, they teach you spelling, only we don't get to ride around on broomsticks playing soccer or whatever the crap that was. But words carry certain vibration. There's high vibrational words and there's low vibrational words, and swearing, curse words, are low vibrational words. And you'll find people who are either demonic or, yeah, I always put it that way, demonic, have a hard time not swearing. And people with Tourette's syndrome, I believe, are possessed by demons. What the swearing does is basically it creates negative energy for the host, the demonic host, to survive. And that's what swearing does. It creates negative energy. So try not to fucking swear too much, you know. Yeah. But just my experience going out the other day, I was drained too. I had virtually no interaction with anybody. I mean, I bought lunch, and I made 2 purchases. And when I came home, I felt so tired. I didn't leave the house feeling tired. So, yeah, and like as I was saying, as I'm raising my vibration, just this feeling of like extreme, not quite anxiety. I think it's just like heightened awareness. It's pretty messed up to be aware of what I'm talking about and to live it. It's pretty, it feels like, it's like a bad dream, you know. Just groups of people with, you can tell that you can never have an intelligent conversation with, you know, and they're not attractive. And I've said this before about people, like, there's so many ugly people around. I don't mean that in a discriminatory way. I don't mean that in a, oh, you know, you got big ears, or you big nose, or whatever. I don't mean in physical terms. I mean in, like, the vibe. And I think that your appearance is informed by your vibe. And these people have no vibe, and that to me is ugly. These people have probably no souls. And they're not all bad, you know, they're mostly just benign. You know, organic portals, they're not really bad. It's the reptilians that are bad. But the organic portals will do whatever a reptilian will tell them, basically. They listen to authority. They only listen to authority. You could know everything. You could give them the best advice from your own personal experience, from your own research, from your own observations that are 100% pertinent, accurate, right on the money. They won't listen to you. They don't listen to you. But they'll read an article on BuzzFeed or some stupid shit, or some stupid crap like that. Or they'll watch, you know, it depends, you know, like everybody, there's levels of intelligence. There's low IQ, there's, you know, moderate, and there's high IQ organic portals. There's low IQ, high IQ reptilians. And there's, I don't believe that there's any low IQ real people, because real people have access to emotional intelligence, which is all you need. You don't need to know what 1 + 1 equals if you have intuition, if you have self-belief, if you have the ability to create, if you have the ability to empathize. You don't need any of the crap they teach you in school. None of it. Literally none of it. Real people do not need any of that. Real people are talented. Real people light up a room, right? Real people are inspiring. They don't need to talk. You just need to stand by them, and suddenly you feel recharged. If you're a real person, if you're a clone, if you're a empty seeder, that's another word, filler, organic portal. If you're an organic portal, they don't notice how good you are. No, they don't notice how good you are. That's one thing. And then I'm walking through the shopping center and it's like I'm invisible. I'm never invisible to the reptilians, but to the majority of people, I'm invisible, and that can't be. I know that I wouldn't say that I light up a room, but I know I stand out. And I don't have to do it. It's not like, hey, look at me, doing a dance or anything. But I walk a certain way, and I carry myself, and I present myself in a certain way that I believe is, without even trying, original. Because that's what a real person is. They're original. And I'm walking, and I feel really like I would have to be like, hi, hello, I exist, for anyone to even look my way. Maybe that's why I felt so drained. Because the organic portals, they operate on a hive mind, a collective conscience, where they all think the same thing, which is basically what they're told. They here's the irony. They think that they think. They don't think. They regurgitate. They memorize. School education is designed for these idiots to pass for us. Pass so that the Trumans of the world, the real people, don't realize everyone's a retard except for us. Because if we were to realize, like in the movie The Truman Show, if he were to realize, he'd do something about it. We'd do something about it. So I'm starting to do something about it. I'm never afforded, well, I shouldn't say never say never, but it feels like I'm never afforded the opportunity to even meet a real person. I think I mentioned this before, like the movie The Adjustment Bureau, where there's like it sort of ties into gang stalking, where they can, basically, you're always being watched and monitored, and they know what you're doing and they know where you're going, and they can read your mind and all sorts of stuff. They are watching you through your TV, through this thing when I'm not covering it, but through the screen. Anything with a screen is a portal. That's why everything is a screen, because on the other end, this is something you're not told, but the elite have access to technology where they can watch you through any screen. It doesn't matter if you cover the little red light, it doesn't matter if you cover the camera. It's a screen that matters too. Still, there's no harm in covering the camera. It's like, why not? Why not make it a little bit harder for them? But anything with this, and this is more, okay, with the camera, with the covering a camera like that, that's for dimensional beings. That's people, that's like spies, government in the third dimension. They can use that. Extra dimensional beings, fourth dimension, aliens and whatnot, they use the screen to watch you. And they use the screen, they can come out of it, like in that movie, is it Poltergeist? The one Steven Spielberg produced it, I think, where the TV is evil. I think it's the first Poltergeist. I haven't seen it, but I'm aware of what it's about, and yeah. So organic portals. They're everywhere, and like in terms of percentages, I used to think, I became aware of these empty people probably 5 years ago, but I never realized just how many there are, and it's at this point, it's the majority of people. Now I know how it feels to be around them, which is nothing. You don't feel unsafe around them. Reptilians, you feel unsafe around. Reptilians there's fewer reptilians than there are organic portals. But generally, when I talk about reptilians, I do mean both, because the way it works, again, to reference the Matrix, the movie The Matrix, Mr. Smith or Agent Smith or whatever his name is, he's a reptilian. In the fourth dimension, or any dimension beyond the third, which is the physical, he can inhabit a body at random, at will, and use that to do whatever, to spy, to execute a mission, to get in the way of a good person, a real person. Organic portals are probably 70, 75, more than half of people. Reptilians, and I mean physical reptilians, as in ones using holograms to appear human, would be around somewhere between 10 and 20%. I used to think the number was higher of how many physical reptilians there are. That's just before I understood that it's more organic portals. What I was thinking were reptilians were actually empty people who were inhabited by reptilian, demonic, psychopathic energy and spirits. They were being possessed. And real humans are in the minority, the vast minority, less than 10%, maybe less than 5% of people. Certainly less than 5% in my experiences lately, and the number is dropping all the time, because the reptilians' whole agenda on this earth is depopulation and replacing all true human life with organic portals. And just one other thing about organic portals is that they can be born. You can be born soulless, just as reptilians are born in the hospital. Organic portals are born, without a soul. But many people are replaced by a reptilian and turned into a clone or an organic portal. And this has happened to a lot of people that I've known, family included. And it can happen to you too if you're not careful, if you don't keep your vibration high, and if you're not true to yourself, because to be replaced, you have to be compatible with the frequency of the reptilians, which is low frequency, negative vibration, negative vibe. So you have to keep your vibration high to avoid being cloned. But I mean, no, it's only a matter of time until something happens, because what I believe they're doing, whereby turning everyone into soulless, is that eventually they're going to pass laws where the majority of people will see no problem with it, because, as I said, organic portals always go with authority. If someone has a title, if someone has status, they'll always listen to and obey that person. They won't ever listen to common sense. If you told them that the sky was, purple, if I told them that the sky was purple, they'd go, "What are you talking about? Get back on your medication. Are you feeling all right?" If a reptilian told them, or if the government told them that the sky's purple, they'd say, "You know what? Yeah, it is purple. Now that I think about it, yeah, well, of course, it's always been purple." Then, if you were to say, "What are you talking about? It's blue. It's always been blue. You don't really believe that purple stuff, do you?" They go, "What are you on? Get back on your pills. Get away from me. You're crazy." Yeah. So that's a little bit of talk on organic portals. There's a lot more I can go into. Actually, I think I did like a top 10 list. Yeah, like how to know if you're talking to an organic portal. I might make that next, or at some point. No real schedule. I got like quite a few video ideas in mind, but need to feel inspired to do them, and not really feeling it just yet. But yeah, that's organic portals. A little bit of talk on that. Keep it nice and short, under 20 minutes for a change. And this has been me, old Truth Dog, and hope you have a lovely day. Hope you learned something. Yes, Truth Dog out. Woof!